The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Jasmine stood before the assembled delegates, her hands trembling ever so slightly as she held the data tablet containing Earth's final transmission. Behind her, Fien, her assigned cultural liaison from the peaceful Valorian species, watched with growing concern etched across his crystalline features. "Honored delegates," Jasmine began, her voice steady despite the weight of what she was about to reveal. "3 cycles ago, the Krell Dominion ignored our warnings. They dismissed humanity's pleas for peace as weakness." The holographic display flickered to life, showing the smoldering remains of New Sydney, humanity's first extrasolar colony. 2 million souls had called it home. Now it was nothing but ash and memory. Fien had served alongside humans for 7 years, and in that time he'd come to know them as artists, philosophers, and dreamers. They sang songs about peace, wrote poetry about unity, and their children laughed with the same innocence as younglings across the galaxy. He'd watched Jasmine spend countless hours in diplomatic negotiations, always seeking common ground, always extending an olive branch, a human symbol he'd learned meant peace. "The Krell commander," Jasmine continued, her jaw tightening, sent a message after the bombardment. He said, "Your species talks too much of peace. Clearly you have forgotten how to fight." A murmur rippled through the chamber. The Krell delegation sat motionless, their armored frames betraying no emotion. Fien stepped forward, his translator humming. "Perhaps there has been a misunderstanding. Humanity has always been reasonable. We can mediate." "No." Jasmine's single word cut through the air like a blade. She turned to face him, and Fien saw something in her eyes he'd never witnessed before. Something ancient and terrible. "Finn, you've been a good friend. You've shown me the best of the galaxy, but there's something about my people you need to understand." She activated another sequence on her tablet. Historical records began to play. Battles from Earth's past. Conflicts that had shaped humanity long before they'd reached the stars. Fien watched in growing horror as humans fought not with plasma rifles or energy shields, but with primitive projectile weapons, blades, and sometimes just their bare hands. "We didn't forget how to fight," Jasmine said quietly. "We chose to stop." The records showed wars that had consumed continents, weapons that could split atoms, conflicts where millions perished. Then came the footage of humanity's great reconciliation, when they'd finally united and turned their gaze skyward, vowing to leave their violent past behind. "For 200 years, we've been the galaxy's diplomats, mediators, and peacekeepers," Jasmine explained. "We genuinely believed we'd evolved beyond our nature. We wanted to prove that a species could change." Fien's vocal harmonics wavered with distress. "Jasmine, what are you saying?" She looked at her friend with genuine sadness. "I'm saying the Krell made a fatal miscalculation. They thought our peace was weakness. They didn't realize it was a choice, and choices can be unmade." The holographic display shifted again, this time showing live footage from Krell space. Fien gasped as he witnessed human warships emerging from quantum tunnels. Not the sleek diplomatic vessels he knew, but angular, brutal machines that looked designed for only one purpose. "Earth's fleets have been in storage. Finn, museum pieces we called them. Relics of a shameful past." Jasmine's voice grew colder. "The Krell woke them up. The battle footage was unlike anything the Galactic Council had witnessed in 3 centuries. Human tactics were unpredictable, aggressive, almost reckless. They employed strategies that violated every conventional doctrine of warfare, because those doctrines assumed all species valued preservation over victory. Humans don't fight like you do." Jasmine addressed the chamber. "You fight to win territory, resources, or dominance. That's logical. That's survivable." She paused, letting her next words sink in. "Humans fight to make sure the fight never happens again." Fien watched as Krell defensive positions crumbled not through overwhelming force, but through surgical precision targeting their command structures, supply lines, and will to fight. The humans moved through space like predators who'd been caged too long. Every action speaking of millions of years of evolution as persistence hunters. "The Krell Dominion has 48 hours to surrender," Jasmine announced. "After that, Earth's fleet commanders have authorization to demonstrate why humanity invented the concept of total war." The Krell delegate finally rose, his voice modulator crackling with barely contained rage. "You dare threaten us? We have conquered 70 star systems." Jasmine met his gaze without flinching. "And we fought ourselves for 10,000 years on a single planet. We know what we're capable of. That's precisely why we tried so hard to avoid this. Fionn felt his understanding of humanity shift fundamentally. These beings who wrote such beautiful music, who cried at poetry, who treated his people with such kindness, they contained within them something the peaceful species of the galaxy had long ego-bred out or evolved past. I've transmitted Earth's final message to all council members, Jasmine said, her voice heavy with regret. I wanted you to hear it from me first, from someone you know, so you'd understand this isn't about vengeance or conquest. This is about survival and teaching the galaxy a lesson it seems to have forgotten. She played the recording. A simple message appeared in every known galactic language. We tried peace. Now you'll meet the other side of humanity. As the session adjourned, Fionn approached Jasmine. Are your people really going to end the Krell threat? Yes. She placed a gentle hand on his arm. But Fionn, understand this, we take no joy in it. Every human who climbs into those warships carries the weight of our history. We know exactly what we're unleashing. Then why? He asked desperately. Why not find another way? Jasmine looked up at the stars visible through the chamber's dome. Because the galaxy needs to remember that peace isn't the absence of the capacity for violence. It's the choice not to use it. And when someone mistakes that choice for incapacity, her voice trailed off. They learn the difference, Fionn finished softly. They learn the difference, Jasmine confirmed. We just hope we never have to teach this lesson again.